Hey, happy Tuesday, everybody. It's good to be talking with you again, all the nonprofit leaders out there. My name is John Kidwell. I'm a nonprofit leadership and business coach, and I am thrilled to be hanging out with you all today. And today, the question is, should my nonprofit charge for service? It's a tough question, an age-old question. Should my nonprofit charge for service? And there really are a few things behind that question. So if you're asking, should my nonprofit charge for service? Something that we can already assume is that you don't, meaning that you receive money or that you raise money. Another piece that we can pull out of that question, should my nonprofit charge for service, is that there is something that's happened or is happening that has you looking at other opportunities to earn money. Should my nonprofit charge for service is usually not something that we ask if and when everything is going well, we have enough money to pay our team a living wage, to deliver on the impact that we promise, or if we are on the way to fulfill the mission. So should my nonprofit charge for service? Well, I think the first place that we start is what's possible and how does it align with the mission if we choose to, in fact, charge for a service? If we're at a church, or if you are in refugee relief, or if you are pulling people out of human trafficking, if you are helping the down and out, serving food to homeless, should there be a charge for that service for the beneficiaries? And I would say no. But there are other components of bringing that mission forward, advocating for that mission, making sure that your component of the mission comes through fruition, that may be able to be charged, and that you can serve people and impact the mission in that way. So should my nonprofit charge for service? Well, let's look at the mission. So let's say that we serve a homeless population, right? And our role in that is either to provide housing or to provide food. Perhaps we look at that and say, there's no way, and nor do we choose to serve the folks where they are, or to charge for the folks for whom we serve where they are. Blah, blah, blah. But as you look at that problem, there are things that presuppose homelessness, things that happen before an individual finds themselves without a home. And there are components after somebody gets out of there to help make sure that they don't come back into homelessness. And on both of those pieces, whether it's for the actual beneficiary or for other people outside of the mission that also care about the mission, you have an opportunity to serve. And there's nothing that says that you have to do that for free, or that you have to fundraise, or that you have to receive a grant to do that. Let's pull back. Should my nonprofit charge for their service? Something that we may in fact be reading into that is that we are not supposed to. And there's nothing in there that says that we're not supposed to. Not-for-profit organizations, non-profit organizations, are not to distribute the profits. It says nothing about what type of money we can or cannot get, and if we can or cannot earn money. And so that leaves us with wrestling with that mindset of, is this something that I can and can't do? So should my nonprofit charge for service? You're probably here because whether it's COVID related, whether a large funding stream has ended, or whether you are looking to extend the impact of your mission, you're looking at things like you've lost a donor. You have a grant that's coming to the end of its cycle. You may be experiencing donor fatigue following COVID, where people are not giving to continue to support the mission. You may also be experiencing grants or funders that won't give because you don't have a certain percentage of your overhead. That's you as the ED, the leader, that's covered. And so you're looking for unique ways to do that. And you're asking, should my nonprofit charge for this service? And my answer, and many answers, is yes. Here's a couple of the things why I say yes. One, half of all of the money that is brought into the nonprofit sector is earned. Two, that when someone pays for something, there's a different value perception than when it comes for free. Now, please don't hear that nonprofits should charge for everything. You should have things that you give and do for free for public benefit, no matter the cost of that person, right? It should be free. And there's also an obligation, a value that is put on it, a benefit for an individual who pays for something. We have a higher level of commitment. We perceive that it is in fact more valuable, and we are likely to follow through on these more. So are those the only reasons why your nonprofit should consider charging? Is because a whole lot of other nonprofits make money, because you can, because people are more committed, or because you want to be seen as a higher value perception than something that's given away? No, absolutely not. Let's go back to what we said at the beginning, and that is not only what's possible for the organization, but also how does it align with the mission? If you are looking to address the mission holistically, and you're focused in on serving people in one avenue, which is only through raised money, you can broaden that by bringing in services pre or post that, in fact, service of the beneficiary that you can charge for. That may, in fact, bring other segments of the population into knowing about your nonprofit or supporting the mission of your nonprofit through a paid service. So, should your nonprofit pay for service, and how do you really decide that? Well, there's a list of questions that we have, that dropping them in the comments, and it's something for you to go through as an organization, as a leader, with your board, to look at those and say, are these things present in our nonprofit? What would be possible if this were to be something that we charge for? Does our program or service look like those another nonprofit charges for, or another business? Does it provide benefit to the people that we serve, our beneficiaries? Do we have something that can, in fact, further the mission that people we serve right now don't engage with, or we don't do, but it's going to help strengthen and further the mission by coming kind of on either side of our direct service, not changing the core, but bolstering it by coming at it from different angles. So, should my nonprofit charge for their service? And my answer to that would be absolutely yes. I think that as you look at it, if we want to deliver on the mission that is in front of us, and most of us are not in an organization where we look at it and say, oh yeah, it's a small mission, we think we can get there in 10 years, it's going to be all done and set. And what that means is that we need to be able to do it for a long time, and we need to make it last. And one of the ways that we do that is by bringing in resources from a whole bunch of different sets. Grants, fundraising, donations, sponsorship or advertising, and all of those help to build out the strength of the organization, both internally and the strength of what the organization can deliver externally. If we are choosing not to charge for a particular service, then we're making the decision to look at how we might serve people in a different way. And I would encourage you to look and ask the question, should my nonprofit charge for service? What do we have that can, in fact, and will be impactful, useful, valuable to those we serve, to those that can join us in our mission, to those that may benefit by either preparing them for or keeping them from what our folks engage in our service, right? Whether that's homelessness or obesity or having to flee a country or avoid unplanned pregnancy, whatever those are, there are opportunities on the front end and the back end to serve people if it is not, in fact, the core service. And so as you think through this and as you wrestle through, should my nonprofit charge for their service? Ask yourself again, what does this make possible? And how does this improve or further the mission? Those two questions open up opportunities for you to start looking at what you do and how you may be able to serve with the heart of the mission, but also using that business mind to make sure that it's something that we can sustain and that we can continue to grow and serve and scale to really drive impact in the mission. So should your nonprofit charge for service? Yes. Does that mean that you charge for everything? No. But you get to choose. And you're the one that knows most where those opportunities are. I wish you well. Would love to hear your questions. Keep leading and keep serving and work at delivering on that mission that is so important for you, but also for those that you serve.